Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Manda, and today I'm going to talk about one of the small steps in sewing that you can do to make a big difference in your finished garments. And this is taking accurate measurements and choosing the correct size. And don't forget, we have a partner blog down below that you can check out to see all of these steps and some more details. Let's get started. One of my favorite things about sewing is the ability to fit things to my body instead of trying to fit my body into clothes that come off the rack in standard sizes that don't really fit anyone particularly well. One of the best ways to do this is to get accurate and precise measurement. New Horizons has more sizes in a size range than ready-to-wear clothing does, so it fits closer to your body for a better fit. This is why taking accurate measurements can help so much in getting a perfect fit. Before we begin, some measurement tips. Wear a thin layer of clothing over the same undergarments that you plan to wear while you're wearing the item that you're measuring for. If you're measuring for a party dress and you plan to wear different undergarments, wear those undergarments. This will help you get a perfect fit to what the garment is actually going to lay over. Before you start, compare your cloth measurement to a hard measuring tape, a quilting ruler, or any kind of ruler. These plastic or cloth ones can get stretched out over time, and even an 1/8 of an inch difference, if you're measuring 40 inches, will be a 5-inch difference, and that's about 6 sizes. So that's a big difference. So you really want to make sure that your cloth measuring tape is accurate before you start. Keep the measuring tape level as you're measuring and pull it taut, but not tight. You want it to be an accurate measurement and go around and not be pulling or tugging, and you want it level. If you have a friend to help you measure, that's great, but you can always do it yourself. I recommend using a mirror to make sure that everything is level if you're measuring by yourself. If you need to, you can always wrap a string or something that's not stretchy around yourself and measure the string as well if you have a part that's difficult to reach with the measuring tape, or if you need to make sure that it's in the exact right place. You can even tape the string to your body. Do what you gotta do to get your measurements right, because it's gonna make the finished garment worth it to have accurate measurements. One last thought as a gentle reminder, these are just numbers. This is just a space. The only reason we use numbers is to measure the cloth. Let's begin. We'll start at the top and work our way down. So we're going to start with your shoulders. The shoulder width goes from the notch to notch across your shoulders. To feel this notch, raise your arm up and a little bit forward and feel there's kind of a dent right here. That's where you want to measure to and from on each side. This one can be helpful if you have a friend to help you. There is a chart in our blog down below that will tell you the shoulder width by size for each of the New Horizons women's patterns. So measure from the depression on one side to the depression on the other to get your shoulder width. For our women's pattern measurements, the entire shoulder and arm area is based on upper bust. To measure this, put the measuring tape around your body, cross it over in front, and take this measurement. Make sure your arms are relaxed and loose and the tape is level, except as it comes up a little bit. Upper bust is one of the key measurements in all of our women's patterns. If you're still with us, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like the video, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Next up in our measurements is your bust. Measure around the fullest part, keeping the tape level, and getting your largest measurement here. For men's patterns and children's patterns, you'll use their chest measurements, which is about the same place, the largest measurement, right underneath their armpits. Next up is waist. For New Horizons, you want the narrowest part of your body here, so you can move the tape measure up and down. You can wiggle around if you need to find where it naturally settles, and this is the waist measurement that we'll use. While you're doing waist, if you mark where your waist measurement falls, you can even tape a piece of string onto your body if you need to. Measure the difference between here and where you like your sleeves to hit, and this is your side waist measurement. This is really useful for when you're adjusting patterns that fall at your waist to make sure they are falling in the exact right spot for you. Next up on the way down is your high hip. This is also not specifically called out in many New Horizons patterns, but we do have a table with it in the blog linked below. This is right around where your hip bones fall and where a lot of people wear their jeans, so you can measure around. This is about where the Portlanders sit. This is not the measurement used in the Portlanders, but it's nice to know sometimes anyway when you're grading. Next up is hips. Hips are measured across the fullest part of your body. This is often well down into your booty. Make sure that the tape is level and is hitting at the fullest part. As you can see, this is further down than what I would call my hips, but this is This is the largest measurement that we need. When you're grading for the CARITAs, especially, it's helpful to have your thigh measurement. Measure across the fullest part of your thigh, keeping the tape level and taut, and the same thing for your calf. Keep the measuring tape level and measure around the widest part of your calf. And lastly, we have inseam. For your inseam, measure from your crotch down to where you like your pants to fall. The length of the finished garment for tops is measured from the top of your shoulders down to the hem. It's very common to grade between sizes, add height where you need it, take away height where you don't need it. All of these adjustments, the shoulder adjustments, these are very common and can result in a great fitting garment. And when you put it on, you can feel it snap into place. Wearing clothes that are custom fit to your body, there's nothing better. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.